Welcome to the Voice of the Student, the space where you the most relevant news with the most up-to-date information in the depth analysis. I am Salazar Marín, and we will accompany you on this informative tour so that you are always aware of everything that is happening. Let's begin. What happens to the student loans in the education department class? The White House released an executive order instructing the Secretary of Education to begin shutting down the department, but not to cancel your debt. President Trump signed an executive order on Tuesday in an attempt to shut down the education department. We are sending education back to the states, where it really belongs, Secretary of Education Linda Mahon said in a statement after Mr. Trump signed the order. But they are not about to let debtors off the hook. Those states, after all, are not banks, and the education department is a big bank in Albut's name. It lends tens of billions of dollars to the students and parents each year and oversees the collection of roughly $1.6 trillion in outstanding loans for over 14 borrowers. The debt-driven federal government going to give up that money. So if the education department closed, another federal entity will take the loan system over. In the short term, any agency interested in the loan portfolio would need to keep the service that collect and track payments. What else might change? Here are some possible answers. Can the president shut down the education department with an executive order? Probably not. Congressional approval is needed to shut down a federal agency, and Mrs. Michael Mahon noted in her confirmation hearing. This is political theater, not serious public policy, said Ted Mitchell, a former Undersecretary of Education who is now the president of the American Council on Education, a university membership group. This could be true and largely so, unless the White House shuts the department down without congressional approval and tries to win the lobbies that will most likely ensue. Mr. Trump signaled Thursday that he may also ask Congress to act. What it shouldn't happen anyway, whether via a vote in Congress, a court ruling, or some other way. So, other federal entity will need to take over debt usage and collection. Mr. Trump announced Friday that student loans will move under the Small Business Administration. Education department employees could change departments in order to preserve institutional memory on how to run the often complex loan programs and interpret their terms. Just how messy calls and transfer of my loans end up being? Pretty messy. The debt repayment system is complicated, with ugly technical rules and repayment plans and many student loan service tracking and collection payments. Borrowers should always maintain records of their loans and all previous payments. Could disbursements of new loans be delayed? It's possible. Presumably, a new oversight would aim to make the transition orderly and secure at the lender during a part of the year when not many people were getting new loans. On March 11, the Education Department sent a lawyer notice to over 100 employees as part of its effort to reduce its workforce by half, including people who have already left since Mr. Trump's inauguration. While those labors are the subject of lawsuits, other employees with relevant student loan expertise might have already left or will walk out under their own volition. It could be difficult for borrowers to get a speedy resolution to many complicated uses for an indefinite period to come, claiming that eliminating half the department would affect its service, without any clear plan to distribute the workload, is at best naive and at worst deliberately misleading, said Beth Magillion, the interim president of the National Association of Student Financial Administrators. It also raises serious concerns about how billions of dollars in federal student aid will continue to be disbursed to the students without interruption. Should I keep making my student loan apartments? Yes. My loans have been on pause. What now? If the education department closes, some other department or entity could become the lender. Republicans have made it a long-term goal to have private companies handle the student lending, with the federal government as king of wherever backstopping the debt. What would happen to popular programs like income-driven repayment, public service loan for years, and Pell Grants? All of these programs exist because of laws. We centrally should honor those programs. Mr. McMahon said of public service loan forgiveness during her confirmation hearing. She also promised to maintain Pell Grants and said she supported their expansion. So presumably some governmental entity will continue to oversight each of them, but Congress money will try to alter or end any one of them. What other changes will come? Mr. Trump issued an executive order in attempt to prevent borrowers enrolled in the public service loan forgiveness programs from having their loans cancelled if they work for organizations disfavored by his administration. This would include an entity supporting terrorism, engaging in violence for the purpose of obstructing or influencing federal government policy, child abuse, including the chemical or surgical castration or mutilation of children. Employers engaging in a pattern of aiding and abetting illegal discrimination, and those that are violating state tort laws, including laws against trespassing, disorderly conduct, public nuisance, vandalism, and obstruction of highways. Anything this sweep is certain to cyber lawsuits. It is not clear how soon the Education Department will attempt to put any of it in place. Alias of Elon Musk, who invaded the Smith of Education Department headquarters soon after Mr. Trump's inauguration, have also using software-enabled chatbots to replace workers, help answer questions for parents and borrowers. Thanks you very much for your attention. Stay tuned and stay connected.